Hello, friends. It's Crafty Kristen with you once again, and today we are celebrating the miracle of the wedding at Cana, Jesus' very first miracle where he worked to keep a party going. At any rate, we'll discuss how important it is that Jesus does work in our lives in a lot of different ways, and that we can trust and believe in who he is and what he does, because he has and continues to do marvelous and miraculous things. But our crafts today both celebrate the specific story in a sense. Now, our first craft that we're going to do is a pretty basic, simple one where we're going to see how water can change things or how things can appear miraculously. So we're going to make a little bit of a painted water resist, we sometimes call this, or essentially it's crayon art that shows up when you put watercolors over it. So you can use a variety of paper types and colors. Now, just to demonstrate, we're going to show a few different, I've got cardstock, different types of paper, and different colors of paper, so you can see how it might work on different elements. And you'll start off by encouraging the kids they can draw a picture that goes with the story directly, or they can just write their names, or whatever you would prefer to do. Now, for the crayon resist to really show up and be impressive and exciting and awe-inspiring, what you want to do is you want to use dark colors on dark colors and light colors on light colors. So you might choose to do something like here. I've got a yellow piece of paper, so I could draw some yellow items on this piece of paper. Now, the tricky part is that I won't really see them now as I'm drawing them, but the magic will happen later. Magic meaning miracle. And you can write some things to Jesus. And of course, sometimes you can sort of see it. Jesus still does miracles. And again, we're going to do it on all three kinds of paper so you can see how it works. Maybe I will draw a little goblet to remember the story of the wedding at Cana, and maybe I'll even write something like wedding at Cana. And again, we can kind of see the crayon right now, but just you wait. The first miracle. And you could even put in some other types of miracles as well. And then let's one more here just to show the variation on color. And Jesus can see, you don't see it very much right now, but haha, here comes the exciting part. So we've got our drawings, and of course your drawing can be more elaborate. You can have all kinds of fun, encourage the kids to get creative. So there's a couple of options. You can use regular watercolor paints, just a plain old watercolor, or if your watercolors are in short supply, or you just want to try something different or get even more creative, what you can do is you can take just regular water and you can color it. So I've got water here. Now we'll do our own little miracle of sorts. Not exactly a miracle, because we're just going to put some food coloring in. And you can do this in any color you like. We're just going to use red and put a few drops of it in there. And voila, now our water has changed. Of course, it hasn't changed tremendously. It's just colored. But now, as we use our colored water to paint over, as you paint it, that crayon will show up. So as you can see, we could barely see it before. Now, with a little water, voila, it appears. And you can do different colors, of course, different colors of water, different colors of water or of paint or whatever you like. But it makes it very exciting to see. Ooh, I didn't see what was on there, and now I do. So just for funsies, let's check out what happens with the other pages. So here's my black. And of course, here comes the writing in full relief. Ooh. So we took just plain water and we made this appear. Just like Jesus took just plain water and turned it into wine. So finally, I will say this works a little better on the thicker paper, but you can use whatever you like. This just holds the water better and it doesn't get as flimsy. So here we go. There's craft number 1, our ever popular watercolor water resist. Voila! Or hey, if you want to go an even easier route, get one of those cool color with water books, and they're really awesome. You just take water and a paintbrush and the colors magically pop out. So that's another fun option, but this is our low budget version. Next craft that we are going to have will also celebrate the story. And for this, you will need a paper plate or 2 and a piece of paper or 2. You'll also need one of these wonderful brad fasteners, which come in oh so handy to make things flexible, and some type of decorative supplies. So we are going to show how the plain water in the story turned into wine. Well, we're not really going to exactly show how. I mean, the how was a miracle that Jesus was the Son of God. But anyways, we're going to recall how it happened with our fun paper plate activity. So what we're going to do first is we're going to cut a slit in this paper plate, and that's going to show us what happened, how this water turned into wine. So we're going to cut the slit. I'll show you why we're going to cut the slit first. It's just a little bit easier because we're going to draw and write around it. But anyways, you're going to start at any point in your plate, really, because we haven't drawn anything on here yet. And we're just going to make a nice big arc of sorts, arc shape. So we're going to cut it not too close to the edge because then it might come out. So we're going to make a nice few inches, not crazy big, but we're going to have our little arc here. Then there we go. We're cut out. And now I'm going to actually poke my brad fastener through as well so that I get an idea of where it's going to go. And now what you're going to need is you're going to need either one piece of paper that is colored on one side, or you can attach 2 pieces of paper together for this. Essentially, you're going to need them to be the same size as the plate itself. Evidently, I've used that paper before. So we're going to simply trace around it so we can get an idea of how big the paper needs to be. It can be slightly smaller than the actual plate, but close in size. Now we're going to cut out both pieces of paper if you're using 2. If you're using 1, you'll just color half of it. And then we will cut one of these pieces of paper in half. And, well, I guess technically we'll need to cut both of these pieces of paper in half. So we have a white one and a purple one. Snippy snip. Or, of course, if you only had one piece, again, you would just color half of it. Simple enough. Now we're going to attach them together. Of course, as always, you can use tape, you can use glue, you can use staples, you can use whatever you've got handy. We're going to use glue today, but if you don't want to wait for glue to dry, just use some tape or some staples or something like that. Now, I've got my half and half. There we go. And I'm going to poke that onto the brad fastener. And then comes the next step. Just really carefully poke that through, making sure it lines up with the plate. Now comes the other fun part here. So now we're going to flip the plate back over, and now we get to finalize the decoration. So here you can use crayons, markers, whatever you've got, whatever you want. And we will remember that we can title this The First Miracle. And then we will recall what Jesus did. So over here we'll have on the plate part, Jesus, ... On the white part of our paper, we can write Jesus, and of course water isn't white, so if you want to use blue or something else here, go for it. Jesus turned water, and now, this is the exciting part. We roll our little wheel, and now it's purple into wine. Yahoo! Of course, disclaimer, children should not drink wine. Wine should not be drunk in excess, etc., etc., etc. But it's the biblicality of the thing. Wine is traditional at weddings. Anyways, so now if you would like to also, you can add some extra fun to this. You can draw a little cup here, kind of a goblet-y business to show where this wine is flowing into. And not the greatest cup, but you get the idea. Say what is it, a goblet, a flagon, whatever. Then if you even want to also, you could do another picture with the picture. A picture of a picture. That's kind of fun. And zoop, something like that. And of course, you can jazz it up further. You can, if you want to hang this up, you can attach a handy dandy pipe cleaner to it. That's always fun. If you want to put some stickers on it, go for it. Put some stickers on it. You can do whatever you like. This is your craft. But a fun and special way to remember the very first miracle of Jesus. Woohoo! Party time. So, of course, add more color or flair, whatever you want to do with that. As always, these are your crafts. Make whatever will best suit your audience and your purposes and timing and materials. But hopefully, this gives you some fun ideas to celebrate the first miracle, the wedding at Cana, where Jesus turned water into wine. And why? Because his mom asked him to. Well, and to prove he was the Son of God, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But you get the idea. One more super fast bonus craft we're going to do real quick here. We're going to take a piece of paper in a square. Now it has to be a definite square, not like rectangle, triangle, etc. Square. We're going to show you how to make an origami cup out of paper, because that's fun and has to do with drinking things and wine and stuff like that. Anyways, if you don't already know this, this is the easy way. Now, I did not cut my paper into a perfect square, so we're going to fix that real quick. And we're going to make it a perfect square. All right, so you will take your perfect square. You'll fold it in half like a triangle. Ta-da! Then you'll reach one end to the other opposite side. Do the same with this end to this side, like so. Now we're going to flip one of these pieces down. We're going to turn it over and flip the other part down. And now I'm going to pop that out. And ta-da! We have a simple origami-ish cup. If it's made out of paper, it probably will not hold liquids, but if it's big enough, you can put popcorn or something in there. But that's your extra super fun, simple bonus. I'll do it again in slow motion sometime. At any rate, hopefully you've enjoyed. Like and subscribe if you have not already done so, because we have new crafts and messages out every week to help you and your ministry, wherever and whatever that is. So go make some crafts, make some disciples. We'll see you next time.